I think. Okay, so before, let me just introduce to you quickly our second speaker, okay, Dr. Ikmi Nur Oktavianti. She is going to present her study on corpus-based language pedagogy, insights from the Indonesian context, right? So Dr. Ikmi is a lecturer at the lecturer of linguistics at the English Education Department, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, Indonesia. She graduated from the Department of Humanities from Universitas Gadjah Mada, also in Indonesia. Her research interests include corpus-based language pedagogy, syntax, and linguistic typology. All right, Doctor, would you like to share your screen before you start?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Roslina. Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. It's an honor for me to be one of the speakers of this MCRN webinar. This is, I think, a monthly webinar, right, Dr. Roslina? So I'm very glad that I was invited by Dr. Roslina to be one of the speakers. And today I'm going to share, actually, this is not only my research, but also some other people research. But yeah, I will also talk about my research on corpus-based language pedagogy. I hope my screen is visible already.
Yes, it is, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, after listening to the talk from Dr. Phoenix, that was quite impressive and also comprehensive, but mine is a bit practical because here the focus is on using corpus for pedagogical purposes. That's one of the things that we can also work with corpora. And this is very relevant for me because I'm a language teacher, especially for English, because that's my profession right now. I'm an English teacher. So hopefully some of you are also English teachers, so we can share our experience in using corpus or corpora in teaching English so far, because that's quite demanding and challenging actually for me personally, especially because I am living in Indonesia where English is a foreign language or EFL. So we have some obstacles or difficulties or limitations compared to other countries where English is already a second language or even the native language. Okay, so I would like to start from here. So talking about using corpus for, language teaching, actually, before we talk about it, so we usually, not usually, we are wondering sometimes, right, as a language teacher or as an English teacher, some questions like, do my students really need this grammar point? And then some other questions like, which words should I use to exemplify the structure? Am I teaching my learners language they will need to use when they speak the language? So things like this that, that are quite challenging to be done in our classroom. And also things like the question like, does the grammar explanation in the book reflect how we use this structure? So we are wondering about the authenticity, or do my students really need this? Yeah. Let alone in the EFL context, yeah, because these are very challenging to do. And by having this kind of questions, corpus, like all we know, can help us overcome or can be the solutions for our difficulties, yeah, in addressing these questions or these issues, because we know that corpus provides big data for language data. So we have a lot of text stored digitally massively so that we can access that. We can do some kind of corpus analysis, but we can also do something else with corpus. We can use it to teach our students or teach language learners, yeah, because we can provide the authentic language data, and also it's quite rich because it's huge, it's massive, right? And according to Jones, in 1991, so the learners can be researchers if they use Corpus, if they use Corpora in their learning activities. And also, according to Bolton and Cobb in 2017 and McNary and Wilson in 1997, the use of Corpora can encourage autonomous discovery and personalized learning. So that's why the use of Corpus in language teaching is actually quite recommended. And according to Romer, this one is the, what is it? Classification of corpus use in pedagogical context. So we can use it directly, like the hands-ons for the learners and teachers by using the corpus in the classroom, and we call it DDL, data-driven learning. Or we can also use it indirectly. So it's for the materials writers to consult their materials, whether the materials they design, they develop is relevant or is in line with the actual use of English or any kind of language that we are teaching. Okay, so these are the classifications of corpus applications in pedagogical context that we all know already. And we now arrive at this term called corpus-based language pedagogy, or CBLP. And this term is actually promoted by Dr. Ma. And according to Ma, corpus-based language pedagogy is the ability to use the technology of corpus to facilitate language teaching in a classroom context. So actually we use corpus for language teaching and learning in the classroom context. So that's CBLP, or corpus-based language pedagogy. And according to Ma, in 2021, corpus-based language pedagogy, or CBLP, serves as a linking point between corpus linguistics, because corpus linguistics is very popular nowadays, but it's mainly used for linguistics research or studies on language. But actually, if we are talking about language, we also need to teach language. And this is like a linking point between corpus linguistics and pedagogy in language classrooms. So it can provide a new theoretical grounding for how to effectively organize corpus-based training for ESL or EFL teachers by including a variety of state-of-the-art English teaching activities. So it's like, trying to connect between theoretical things and practical things, right? By having this CBLP, or the way we use corpus for language teaching in the classroom. However, I would like to explain a brief overview of corpus and English language teaching in Indonesia. So just for your context, because the audience here is an international audience, right? So we have the audience from other countries, which is exciting and interesting as well. So at the end of this session, I would like to know your experience as well in this context. And in Indonesia, English, like what I have mentioned, English is a foreign language. So we have limited opportunity to use English outside classroom. We rely a lot on classroom activities and textbooks, and that's what we have for English subjects, during school years. And the curriculum that we are implementing now, it is called Merdeka curriculum. Merdeka is freedom, and it promotes equalities in education. It also promotes freedom, and it is embracing differences. So the popular term nowadays in our curriculum context is differentiated instructions or learning. And one of the interesting thing in this curriculum is the learning outcome. So in the 2024 version of this curriculum, the learning outcome for the students after they graduated their secondary school, they have to achieve this P1 or P2 in the CEFR, while we know that we have limited opportunities to use English. So this is quite challenging to achieve, for the students, also for the teachers, actually. And also about corpus awareness in Indonesia, corpus linguistics is popular nowadays in Indonesia for linguistics research, for studying, languages like English, Indonesian, and other languages that we can collect the data. And also we have this national corpus, we call it Corpus Indonesia, or COIN. This is the corpus for our national language, Indonesian language. We do have this national corpus, although it's still what is it, smaller compared to like BNC, British National Corpus, or COCA. They are huge, massive, but this one is like in the smaller version. But at least we have this national corpus that we can use if we are going to find maybe collocations in Indonesian or frequency of words in Indonesian and so on. And also some other Indonesian language corpora, there are only some of them. We still have some other language corpora, but they are not the ones designed by the government. They are like designed by researchers or other universities or other institutions, like in Sketch Engine, we also have that. And then we have the Leipzig Corpus Collection, Silang Library, and Colloquial Indonesian Lexicon, and some other Indonesian language corpora. But yeah, for English, we still, of course, we have to use the native version ones from like BNC or COCA, but this one is about the corpus awareness that, yeah, we do aware that corpus is important. We all are aware that corpus is important for the linguists, for the people who are studying language, but it's still limited to Indonesian language. Yeah, and also about ELT in Indonesian context. These are some examples of ELT materials in our country. These ones are taken from the what is it? One of the textbooks published by the ministry. So we can already tell that what is it? Yeah, the designers are of course not native speakers. Yeah, so we have like the vocabulary builder there. The list of words are, if we, because we are corpus linguists, yeah, all of you here, or at least you are interested in corpus linguistics, we know that frequency does matter, and we, from the list of the vocabulary presented in the textbook, they are not that frequent in the day-to-day communication. So we are wondering why this list of vocabulary is presented here, right? So that's the thing that I directly notice when I see the textbook. And also from the conversation on the right side, we can see the conversation, like if we meet a stranger, then we suddenly asking name, and then asking about what is it, things quite personal, like where are you from and so on. So that's something that would not really happen in real life, right? So we can say that if we look at conversations data stored in corpora, these kind of things are maybe rarely happening, because yeah, it's not common for us to do this in our daily life, right? And also this one is the one of the titles of the book chapter in the textbook published by the government. So we can see the title of the chapter there, yeah, giving announcement, which is quite interesting for me, because when I check in COCA, the word announcement, the noun announcement, and also the verb that precedes the noun, we can see that the verb giving is not included there. So it's not, what is it? This construction is not frequent in English, or even it's rare. So why do we have this structure here? I think it's the influence of Indonesian structure that we can find here. And also when I check the verb give, and also the noun that can follow the verb give or giving, and we can see that announcement is not there as well. So this is interesting, because yeah, it means that the construction giving announcement there is not natural in English, but we do have that in our textbook. So that is interesting. And these are the list of the textbooks, just some of them actually, but we have some, we have a lot of textbooks, because we do have some versions for each grade, from elementary or primary until secondary schools in Indonesia. And we have the teacher's guide and so on. And now we are talking about this issue, corpus-based language pedagogy in Indonesia, after knowing the context of English, the curriculum, and also the ELT materials in Indonesia. So I'm going to share some preview studies on corpus-based language pedagogy in Indonesia, and also I will share my own research on this matter. And the first one is, of course, if we are talking about corpus used in language teaching, we cannot skip this one. This is data-driven learning. One of the, popular ways to use corpus, because we use it directly in the classroom. And this is one of the research done by some Indonesian researchers or lecturers, Nugraha et al. In 2017, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So from this research, actually, it is obvious that most students responded positively towards the implementation of DGL, or data-driven learning, in learning grammar. This is interesting because it shows that the students enjoyed the DDL activity in the classroom. And the research also concluded that DDL approach can be an effective learning approach to teaching and learning grammar for its incentives to encourage students to be active language learners, because they have to get involved in the activities, right? It's like discovery learning, because the students will be the detectives. They have to generate patterns from the language data that they are observing. And then another study for data-driven learning done by Asi et al. In 2021. And in this research also, has the similar result from the previous one. So the students find it positive, because this one is quite different, because in this research, the students were introduced to DDL in their first semester, and then they will, in the second semester, they didn't use DDL anymore, but at the end of the second semester, they employed DDL again in their classroom, and it turned out that they still retain the DDL activities, and they enjoyed a lot, and they also view it positively, and they see the potential of DDL for the future practice. So this is interesting because the students actually enjoyed DDL. And another study for DDL done by Crosswaith et al. In 2021. So this one is from the teacher's perception, but this one is pre-service teacher, or the students in the English education department. So yeah, this research showed that teacher trainees from a non-weird context learning about COPA for the first time, they can see the potential of DDL to improve the teaching and learning of the second languages. However, the teacher trainees, they also find it difficult because they still struggle to conceive of how to incorporate corpora and DDL into their teaching practice. This is actually everyone's problem, including me, myself. Yeah. And one more research done by Crosswaith et al. In 2021 again. And this one is still about pre-service, teachers' contacts. Yeah? And in the study showed that the trainees' first exposure to corpora was through the online DDL training course. So it was online. But the result shows that, they they find it quite challenging because the course is actually targeted at postgraduate second language English writers, and mainly focuses on academic writing and second language error correction using Sketch Engine. And this one, although this is online, but eventually it became the main source of initial corpus training due to the COVID-19. And again, the online format may not have suited all trainees, and different results may be obtained in face-to-face setting, because the limitation of this research is it was done online. And that was about DDL. And also, if we are talking about corpus used in language teaching and learning, it is also important for us to consider corpus for materials consultation if we are going to teach our students or our learners. So here are some previous studies on corpus-informed ELT materials in Indonesia. The first one is from Simbuka and Nagauleng. This one is from 2021 or 22, if I'm not mistaken. So in this study, the researchers actually use corpus as the, control corpus, because they want to see whether the textbooks they are, or the course book they are using are already sufficient. And it turns out that after analyzing the course books, by using corpus approach, the results showed that the examined course book contains sufficient English high frequency words required by the theory. However, in terms of academic and technical vocabulary coverage, the course book content were still considered under the theoretically acceptable coverage. So we have conflicting results here, in a way that this textbook should be revisited. And also another study done by Nugraha et al. In 2023. So this one is about creating an aviation English lesson. And of course, because this one is the corpus informed study. So the material design was done by consulting corpora. And in this study, the corpus used is COCA. So the researchers use the consultation from COCA to design the English materials for aviation. And some other studies were done to see the students' perspectives or perceptions of of corpus use or corpus-based research course for EFL teaching. So we can see this one is done by Dabamona et al. In 2024. So this is quite current. And the results show that the participants' response regarding the relevance and importance of CBR and their teaching practice encompass a diverse spectrum of attitudes and experience. So some participants acknowledged the potential benefit of corpus, while others admitted that they are not familiar with this one. So they are still confused. They still need more support and guidance. And this one is from Kurzweil et al. And in 2021. So this one is the same, gaining the perspectives of the participants about corpus used. Again, there are mixed picture of pre-service trainers' appreciation for potential of corpora, because some of them acknowledge that this is potential, this is beneficial, but some others might find some difficulties in using this. However, if we are trying to visualize the corpus research in Indonesia, especially for the pedagogical context, so it's from 500 papers collected from Google Scholars. So this one is like the visualization. So we can see that there are a lot of issues or topics that were discussed regarding corpus use in language teaching in Indonesia, and it's still relevant to discuss even until today. And if you are talking about corpus-based language pedagogy, of course, we cannot also skip this one, learner corpus. And we, unfortunately, we don't have like, a comprehensive learner corpus that we can access online publicly, but some researchers collected, compiled learner corpora by themselves for research purposes, like Zen et al. They compiled CB-Link. So this one is corpus of bilingual learners language from primary students in Indonesia. Then we have also Pastomi et al. 2019. The learner corpus is C-Smile. And then Araminta 2020, and me myself, I also compiled a learner corpus 3 to 4 years ago, but it was for research purpose only. And this one is one of the examples of the learner corpus that was compiled by Pastomi et al. In 2019, C-Smile. So it was corpus of State University of Malang Indonesian Learners English. And the details of the corpus that we can find. And this is in Cinta, or Corpus of Indonesian Text in Academia. This one is for Indonesian language. And I would like to also share my personal experience in CBLP, related to CBLP in Indonesia. So my some of my research, they were about this issue, and one of them is about the use of future tense markers in Indonesian EFL textbooks for senior high school. So I tried to compare the future tense markers that were presented in Indonesian EFL textbooks in comparison to those native corpora, PNC and COCA, and it turned out there were some discrepancies of mismatches of the future tense markers used, between the textbooks and the corpora. And this is interesting because what we should present in the textbook should be as authentic as possible, should be relevant with actual use of English, but the results show otherwise. And also the other study is the analysis of conversation using curriculum-based EFL textbooks for senior high school in Indonesia and the comparison with corpus-based English textbooks. So in this study, I compared the English textbooks and also those corpus-based English textbooks. So the Indonesian ones are not corpus-based, right? So again, it turned out there were some mismatches in the conversations, like in the corpus-based English textbooks, the conversations are more authentic. It has many conversational features like hedging devices, pauses, and so on, while interjections, while in the Indonesian EFL textbooks, we are lacking those features. And also this one about the corpus-informed teaching materials in a grammar class. This is one of the interesting study that I have done in the past. So we tried to use a corpus-informed grammar book entitled Real Grammar in our grammar class. And we have 7 meetings of using the book. So the table on the right side shows the arrangement of the meetings and also the topic and the activities that we focus on in the meeting. And the books are quite different from conventional books because the information is corpus informed and also the activities are corpus informed. So the course book separated the spoken and written grammar. And these are the results of some of the results actually. The first one is regarding the students' perceptions of using corpus-informed grammar materials, and we can already notice that most of them find that the use of corpus-informed can help them in learning English grammar better because they can get the information like the frequency, the context of use, and so on. And about the strengths of corpus-informed grammar materials, they also find the corpus-informed grammar materials useful because they can practice their English better, and also it can make it easier for them to learn the grammar and so on. And another study that I have conducted in the past, this one is about the implementation of, not the implementation, but the use of corpus in, but this one is like not the use of corpus. This one is corpus linguistics as a course. Yeah, so we do have a corpus linguistics course in our department. So we try to gather or collect the students' perceptions after being exposed to corpora or to corpus for a couple of weeks. So here we have 6 meetings or 6 weeks of working with some corpora like COCA, PNC, and also MIC USB. This is one of the learner corpora, and corpus-based textbooks as well, because we are in English education department, and also some independent assignments that we also give to the students. And the results show that most of the students perceive this positively, from the percentage, the higher percentage, that we can get from the corpus perceptions or corpus use perception. However, they regarding the use of corpora, the students still find some difficulties. Yeah, we can see that they are not used to corpus technology, and also corpus is too complicated. Maybe some of them are not familiar with the technical terms and so on. So they prefer like a dictionary or just teach using textbook and so on. In terms of the existence of corpus linguistics as a course in an English education department, so the students agree that yeah, they should have that. There should be a particular course on corpus in the English education department, as shown by the results of the questionnaire. And the specific course on corpus should be compulsory as well. In our department, it's still elective. So yeah, maybe in the future we can make it a compulsory subject. So those are some some examples of my previous studies on corpus-based language pedagogy, and it is still quite challenging even until today to promote corpus use in Indonesia among teachers. While actually, if we are looking at Merdeka curriculum's learning objective for English subject, one of the objectives is to develop communicative competence in English with a variety of multimodal texts, spoken, written, visual, and audiovisual. And we all know that if we use corpus, actually we can address this issue, because corpus to consider separating multimodality, right? Because in corpus we have spoken text, we have written text. So actually corpus use is in line with the learning objective of Merdeka curriculum for English subject in Indonesia. Wow, yeah, this is still demanding task for us here. And if we look at the this is like the policy. We have like this association for English education department in Indonesia, and we usually gather annually and talk about the curriculum and also policy regarding English language in Indonesia. And this association released this or issued this policy about the list of courses for English education department in Indonesia. And as you can see there, corpus is quite dominating. So for teaching grammar, for example, we have like corpus in English grammar. Then for vocabulary, we can see that yeah, corpus is everywhere there. Academic vocabulary and corpus, spoken English vocabulary and corpus, written English vocabulary and corpus. And for linguistics subject, of course, we have corpus linguistics there. However, although we have this, yeah, we have that, okay, corpus is in line with Merdeka, corpus use is in line with Merdeka curriculum's learning objectives, and also we have this policy issued by, not policy, this is like recommendation issued by the Association of English Education Department in Indonesia. However, the reality is different. So after browsing for quite some time, so it turned out that corpus linguistics is still rarely offered in English education department in Indonesia. So if I try to find it online, so corpus linguistics is mostly taught in English literature. So we have those two different departments. So English education is like for those who want to be teachers for English, while English like literature is like, yeah, it has more freedom. Yeah, you can be translators or whatever it is, yeah, novelists and so on. So we have this condition right now. And also corpus linguistics is mainly taught in master's program. Yeah, so not in the undergraduate program. Yeah, but yeah, we have to be grateful that in our department at Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, we have this corpus linguistics in the curriculum, although yeah, this is still an elective course, but at least we have this subject or this course, yeah, offered in our curriculum. So this one, the table on the left side is the curriculum in our department, and we have this corpus linguistics there in the elective courses section. Okay, so after having some, what is it? Reality checks there, yeah, about corpus linguistics in Indonesia and corpus-based language pedagogy in Indonesia. So we arrive at this, the last slide that I can present this afternoon. So we still have these challenges that we encounter or we face in Indonesia regarding corpus-based language pedagogy. Of course, the first one is the absence of corpus linguistics from the curriculum in English education department. This is still, what is it, a big task for everyone involved in English education department to be able to promote corpus linguistics and corpus use, and also teacher readiness, because yeah, every what is it? This is, I think, everyone's problem as well, yeah, because every what is it? We have to be adaptive for any kind of changes, and yeah, this is like the thing that we should consider if we try to promote corpus, and also internet availability of coverage. Yeah, this is classical issue, and school facilities. Yeah, not all schools can support the use of corpus. This is unfortunate, but that's the sad reality. And also the emergence of AI now, it's also the thing that we should consider if we want to promote corpus, yeah, because AI is somehow easier to use, right? Like ChatGPT, while yeah, corpus is like more technical and so on. But actually, if we know more, then they are still related. But yeah, corpus is more beneficial for educational context. Okay, so I think that's all from me, Dr. Roslina and everyone. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ikmi. All right, participants, if you have any questions for Dr. Ikmi, you can just unmute yourself or type your questions in the chat box. Thank you, Dr. Ikmi, for that very insightful situation, yeah, in Indonesia. I think a corpus informed pedagogy, or DDL, is not very widely. DDL is not very widely used, yeah. I think
Yeah.
yeah.
How about in Malaysia, Dr. Roslina? Is it
Not very, because I think students, when we introduce DDL to students, they actually love it. But the problem, not the challenges, will be that students with low level or proficiency would not see the, the use of DDL. Will not see DDL as useful to them, because they have to be able to at least have some grasp in grammar, in vocabulary, in order for them to actually use DDL, right? But I think by teachers assisting and making it simpler for them would be more attractive. I can, for instance, DDL does not have to be computer-based. It can be paper-based.
Paper-based, yeah.
Paper-based as well. So perhaps to introduce DDL to lower proficiency students, we have to come up with something that I think Professor Tono came up with, in Japan. He used, he has, in the 90s, it was in the 90s. So he came out with this program called Mr. Corpus in Japan. It was a hit in Japan because he simplified the use of corpus. And his, I think his work, the program, his work was used by NHK to come up with TV programs, simple TV programs, and also they come up with textbooks, simple textbooks that can be used to teach foreign foreign language learners, English as a foreign language, yeah, rather than second language. So he simplified it. So maybe we can revisit his approach, I think.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Dr. Daslina, because that's what I also did in my classroom. Sometimes I cannot use the corpus directly, considering the dynamics of the classroom and also the proficiency of the students. So I use the paper-based version of the DDLs. I have to modify the corpus queries into the paper version of the DDL. That's make it easier for the students later to work on the activities. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely right, because it can be inhibiting when the real corpus in class. Let me check if there are questions from the participants.
I have one question, Doctor.
Yeah, please go ahead, Rai.
All right, Dr. Ikmi, thank you very much for the presentation. And yes, you know, it's important. I think we learn, you know, how students, learners receive corpus, you know, in different places, because initially corpus is used as a linguistic tool. But now we are trying to, you know, make it applicable or relevant to the learners so that they can see it as a tool themselves. So I'm wondering about your opinion on, you know, having created learner corpus. So learner corpus is a corpus of the language produced by learners. So would you give those kinds of corpus to the learners so that, you know, they might reproduce the language that the you know, other learners have produced? Or would you rather just, you know, make it remain as a tool for teachers, you know, for error analysis and so on, and have an aim for, you know, like more sort of native usage as a reference for teaching? So what's your opinion on that?
Okay, thank you, Raihana. That is an interesting question. Okay, yeah. So based on my limited experience, of using a learner corpus, I did compile a learner corpus 3 or 4 years ago. It was for research purposes. So we collected or we compiled the corpus to analyze the students' competence, right? In so that we can later we can try to figure out, okay, what's missing then? What should I prioritize in teaching? At that time, it was from academic writing. So what should I prioritize in teaching academic writing for my students and so on. So I never show the learner corpus to my students because I'm not sure with the other people experience, but to me it will be quite confusing for my learners or students, because they have, we are in the EFL context, so English is very limited here. If I show them the learner corpus, they might find it confusing. So I just use the native corpora for the DDL, but the learner corpus is like for my own need, because I need to know what they have achieved so far, what is missing, what I should focus on more, and what should I prioritize in teaching academic writing for the students. For example, at that time, I focused on linking adverbials. It turns out that the students have not yet mastered linking adverbials. So it is, interesting to focus on linking adverbials, for the next academic writing course, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your answer.
Yeah, thank you, Raihana. I hope it answers your question.
Yes, definitely. Dr. Raslina, I think you're muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So do we have any other questions from the participants?
If no, actually I have another one.
Oh, you have another
So
question.
this
Go
one is a
ahead.
bit different. So I noticed that the Indonesian internet community, they are very active in using machine translation to make foreign materials available and accessible to the Indonesian readers. So sometimes they do it fan base for free, and they share it amongst other Indonesian internet community as well. So do you know if there are parallel or comparable corpora that has exploited this, because it's very actively done, so maybe there are some researchers, Indonesian researchers, who have compiled this and sort of put them side by side so that someone who's
Indonesian and
interested
English?
would translate.
Between Indonesian and English, Raihana?
Maybe. Or maybe even other languages, Korean, Japanese as well.
Yeah. We do have some parallel corpora, because like what I have mentioned, actually corpus linguistics is quite popular in Indonesia. The thing is that it's not that popular for teachers. So yeah, the homework is now to introduce corpus for language teaching, but for corpora, parallel corpora, for language analysis and also for doing things like translation, it's quite massive and popular. Yeah, so yeah, we have some parallel corpora. I don't really remember the name, but yes, we have some parallel corpora for English and Indonesian, or maybe some other languages, even Japanese. Yeah, we also have
Nice.
Indonesian and Japanese parallel corpora.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
answering my questions.
Yeah, thank you, Raihana.
Sorry, I'm muted again. All right, I think there are no more questions here from the participants. So is it okay if we end earlier? I think it'd be okay, right? Right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Ikmi, for accepting my invitation to give a presentation today, and thank you so much to Dr. Phoenix as well, for her presentation. So I think that's all for today. Hopefully that we can see one another. Do we have another webinar next month, right?
Not next month, but the month after. So that would be in August. End of August, yeah.
So because next month we are having one conference organized by University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Oh yeah, Abdul Kadir wants to take another picture. I thought we're done with picture taking already, but never mind. Now, whoever is left, maybe we can just take a quick picture.
Yeah. Okay, so all participants are invited to switch on your camera if you want to. Oh, okay. So I think Abdul Kadir is asking for the picture. Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, all right. So
All
let's
right.
have 2 sessions.
Okay, after the
Okay,
session,
everyone.
share the picture. All right. So, okay, let's take another
Photo.
picture of ourselves. Again.
Give maybe 20 seconds for anyone else who would like to, appear in the photo. Okay, maybe more. All right. So I will take one right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and another one. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. So I guess we are going to see one another again in August, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Dr. Ikmi.
Thank you, Dr.
Assalamualaikum,
Tina.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you
and
very
thank you,
much,
everyone.
me and Dr. Phoenix and everyone. All right, let me